Number one prospect in Pennsylvania. I'm going to get to Pennsylvania in a second because I have a theory here. One of the top high school pitchers in the country, a University of Miami signee, Johnny King, right? You know Johnny King, another Miami guy, a starting quarterback, one of the younger players in the draft this year, from a family background of success. Your dad's a golfer. Talk a lot about that. Tell us about, I want to hear about family, David. Tell us about where you're from. Tell us about some of the mentors you've had in your life, and tell us about some of the lessons you've learned along the way that have helped you get to where you are today.
Yeah. So born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Grew up playing football, baseball, and basketball. Stuck with football and baseball in high school. But yeah, I mean, as far as mentors go, I mean, I was raised by two great parents. I think they did a great job on raising me. And, you know, from the mental side of the game, like you said, my dad's a golfer. Golf is a very mental game. So he's taught me a lot of lessons in that aspect and just how to stay strong mentally. But yeah, I mean, the multiple sports things was great. Growing up, you got to learn different, you know, kind of attributes in each sport that you can take to one another. And I mean, just growing up, like the big thing for me is my mental game, you know. So I mean, I feel like that's a huge part in sports if you want to make it far. So just learning different lessons from sports in that aspect of growing my mind and staying strong mentally was very big for me in my upbringing. Different experiences, different pressure situations that I really valued that took me a long way. But yeah, like I said, Pittsburgh, multiple sports. And then, yeah, like you said, I play quarterback, which is a big teacher in sports, to say the least. So,
you were one of the, when I was out last summer watching guys play, you were one of my favorite pitchers to watch. Calm, maybe it's the quarterback thing, maybe it's some of the things that you were talking about with your dad. Calm, cool, collected, whether you were pitching really well, whether you weren't pitching as well. You attribute that to your dad. Was that always part of who you were as a player? Were you always the low anxiety guy, or were there moments when you feel like the blood pressure rises and you sweat a little bit more, or have you always been cool under pressure? Is that just part of who you are?
Yeah, I would just say that's just who I am. I mean, I take it very seriously when I'm out there, but at the end of the day, it's just a game. I'm a very competitive person, almost maybe a little too competitive. Sometimes it can get a little frustrating, but yeah, I mean, when I'm out there, I'm very calm. I try not to think too much about, you know, after the game, what's going to happen or anything like that. I just try to keep it cool and simple out there and not stretch too much. And but yeah, no, that's something that's always kind of been.
And when did the football fall away? Was it this past year or the year before?
Yeah, this was my last year without it. It was a tough decision. Or my first year without it. It was a tough decision to come to, but yeah, it was just one of the things where it felt like it was right. I mean, I love football, maybe even just as much as baseball. Yeah, I mean, the injury factor was just too high of a risk.
Sure.
And with my future that I saw I had in baseball, I feel like it just wouldn't have been smart to play one more year. Just the risk wasn't worth it.